Everybody, hope everyone's doing well. Bang on 12. I didn't even anticipate that. Midday London. So let's have a look at what's going on. I'm going to go through gold, GU, go for EJ, maybe some BTC as well. Looking at that formulating downside. Haven't looked at EJ once today, so we can do that together perhaps. Wow. Thank God we didn't. So 12 o'clock, UTC plus one. I didn't really rush the gun today or jump the gun. Everything that I drew on here was more or less precisely NY session on Friday. Yeah, so I think last week every single gold directional trade bias and setup established. Now, number one, I didn't. My laptop's still in the shop. I didn't even use this computer. I'm back on the big computer now, but I didn't even utilize this computer to do a load of updates on the Windows to embed the videos, this, that, and the other. And I didn't do one video last week, and it was more or less me working from the iPad and the phone. And I got every single trade directional bias correct. We had EJ longs, we had pound longs, we had multiple gold entries, which we'll go through in a second. And then everything that's drawn on here, as you can see, the screen recording and the capture is what I drew on. I think it was last Friday, guys. Wherever I posted it on the Discord, you guys can go ahead and check on the gold thesis. I did a lot last week. I did a lot. I think I was doing like 6 hours a day, 7 hours a day. But I was very, very intertwined with it all. I was very plugged in, so to speak. So this week, this is what the factor is this week. Now, every day, simply put, every single day. I'm a little bit tired today. Just finished gym and massage, etc. And to be honest with you, there hasn't really been too much to really think about or proceed with when it comes to market direction. I did have a potential short opportunity on the GBP USD, but let's go over this together so we're all on the same page. And then webinar-wise, I think I'm going to do that in the morning, to be honest, guys. I'll do it this time tomorrow. But I'll put the link out there on the Zoom again. I'm going to use Zoom and not... I'm not going to use, WebEx. I'm not going to use WebEx. I'm going to use Zoom. And I recorded this time as well, because last time we were just talking about moving money, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. So tomorrow's is going to be more or less based upon Q&As. Q&A and bouncing back from what I'm going to, put out right now. So let me just tidy up one or two figments on the gold market. Now, okay, where to start? So let's start here with gold. I know a lot of you guys are following suit from some of the previous inclines, declines, blah, 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 as to what we put out last week. So let's just start on the weekly on the right-hand side being here. And I'd just like to go through on this video, guys, and I'll surpass it more on the webinar tomorrow with high intellectors. A lot of you were struggling with the where to put the time frames, so to speak. So let me just push this one out. So as you can see here, top left, we have gold, pound, EJ. Now, as an example, gold on the right-hand side here, I have two gold charts, and it's the double backed. Select layout, double layout. Number two. The double layout on the right-hand side, of one is the weekly. On the left-hand side is the daily. Then on the other on the other chart degree, it's the same again, layout 2. It's layout 2. And on the left-hand side, I'm using the 90-minute time frame, and then I'm going back and forth with the hourly, mainly more so, and then maybe the 30-minute. That's what I'm really working on right now. I don't want to confuse things. I'm looking at more or less higher end performance when it comes down to sessions, session movements, and also that's intraday, intra-session, intraday, and also some intra-week moves. So that's what I'm looking at on each one. So here you see GU keeping the weekly nice and clean there, looking at some of the weekly highs, lows, figments of volume, maybe some VWAP. We'll get into that afterwards. And then on the left-hand side, again, daily. So keep the weekly and the daily nice and clean. Daily last week was beautiful. That was what our our beautiful long trade. That was an RR of 1 to 1.76. It could have been better if we scaled it into the lower end time frames on, maybe even 90-minute. You could have got a better RR there. But that was decent for me. I knew it was going to come through. I had a high end chance of coming through, and then I didn't really need to change it, to be honest, guys. And that was one of our winning trades for last week. I was like, how many pips was that? Around 80, but look at it. Came out, area 1, 2, 3, spiked through the area, spiked back in, supportive, and then it pushed into the highs. So, with that being said, I'll jump into what these manuals are doing right now, and we go from there. Let me just double check if it's still rolling. Yeah, so we're all good. All good. So let's have a look at gold. Now, gold on the weekly, this is very, very important for the whole gold thesis and the gold structure as to where the gold market is going, where the price of gold is going. 2,341.4 right now. Now, look at the volume incident. The volume incident I took from the lower end and to the higher end. Okay, so bringing that across. As you can see here, we pumped into the highs. We opened, closed. Then last week we opened, dipped straight back down. We came back above the 50%. Back below the 50% here, 2,366. So what we actually seen was 2,400 get raided. And can you see here where the crosshair is? 2,400. We have one spike, two spike, and then we came back to the downside. Now, I'm looking at 2.4 being one of the major points of call. And again, if you go onto the 6 month time frame, I suggested after this push here that we would push into 2.4s. We have 2 months left on this candle. And we could just go back and forth for a while. To be honest, I'm not too sure yet. We have to keep we have to keep them monthly into consideration. There's 1 day, 10 hours left on this monthly. Okay, so April is now turning it off. Okay, and looking at that right now, we could start to just push back to the downside 2.2s, maybe 300, 400 pips, but who knows? Weekly right now, suggestions going forward is that the lower end boundary, which is 2,300, was tapped into at the end of last week, spiked through, but closed back above. So here on the week as well, what we can also suggest, my friends, is this. Let me put the magnet on. The magnetic structure, can you see here where we came back above, we closed back above the previous week. So week 1, 2, now on week 3. And we're kind of 50-50 on this. So if I just open up daily, I want to really open this chart up. So what we can see here, and the suggestion was this. So there's the first initial. Push to the downside. We tapped back in last week, and this is very, very important. So this is Friday. Friday's high taps back into the 50. So the weekly and daily don't really coincide with each other as confluence. But what we can see here is that there's a lot of mess going on the day. So I'm going to highlight that. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 4. If we remain below that, guys, after 1 push, 2 push, 3 pushes, we close there, we can just really, really dip back to the down. So I'm going to remove this out the way. I want to keep this as concise and clean as possible for now. Why I got them MAs on? Oh, no, I haven't. I want to keep it as clean as possible. I'm just going to remove all of this. I don't even know why this is on there, to be honest. I think I was showing someone something. I'll keep that one there for a second. Do we need to? No. Okay, moved out the way. Okay, now what we can also see here is this. All right, so that's where 1, 2, 3 points of call have been into last week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. Okay, that's it. So what we can see is if we remain below 2,351, we are actually going to start to tilt. But we have to just wait. The main points of suggestion here from Friday were this. There was one push to the downside, 250 pips, potential 380s, and then 600s. Stops at 2,346, 2,347. And as you can see today, we came off one of the boundaries of a volume boundary, which was 5 p.m., which was the end of MY. A lot of riff-raff has gone on at them through them periods of time, And what we can see right now is we have that open suggestion right there. So if we stay below that, guys, we can see gold rolling in, and even over here too. All I've done on this side of the fence is mark on like 10 a.m., like some of the lows, some of the lows and the highs of the sessions from last week, because we were in consolidation. And with that consolidation, what I've tried to do is just branch and mark out some of the accumulation areas that may be good for future insight, i.e. into this week, into the next sessions. So if gold does remain below 2344s, 2345s, then guess what? We could start to roll back to the downside here. So it's going to be one of those ones where there's 48 minutes left on this 90-minute, and we're also at one of the Fibonacci regions. So if we put one, two right there, you can see that we're in between set 61.8 and 78.6. So if we can hold this value in this space, then we could in fact start to push back around. All right, so let's see. And if we do break this area, guys, we're coming into 2280s. That's it. So I think the RR on the whole spectrum of things over here holds relatively well. It's well valued. There's nice core value there on the RR. But my main counterpart here, my friends, is going to be the 90-minute. This is the main counterpart for me. This is what I'm really looking at. So I hope that makes sense. I'll go over GU just right now because it is a little bit messy, to be honest. A little bit of a mess. We've gone from the spike low into the bridge low here and brought across, and then we spiked into it once, spiked into the 50%, and as you can see here, we spiked into 1.2537, and then over here we can see one of the main factors. We've already broke that boundary, so that boundary's been broken. So we're into a new area, new levels now into the next few days, I feel. So there. Let's remove that for now. Any of the highs and lows we need to really consider at the moment. 1.2559. If we so bridge-wise, 50% there from this duck and cover. We're also more or less at the weekly as well. Okay, so we can look at this. If this is tapped into and reformulated a spike to the downside, let's see how that goes. We could be into another push and then roll over, and then coming into the GU on. Let's have a look at the 90-minute, because this is what's going to be really, really important for us going forward. Is the 90-minute. Let me just check on one or two things. Yeah, so 90-minute wise, we've got this into this, put that on there, and then also at the same time, I don't want to clutter this chart, to be honest. I just want to see where. Let's get the fib for a second. Let's go from the high into the low, bringing this across, and we're right at the 88, 89s. Okay, let's see how this one performs around these areas, guys. So I already put out this morning. I've deleted it off here. Sorry, it's on my iPad. An RR potential risk reward setup for GU on this side of the fence. So. Oops. What was that? Aye. Sorry, guys. 1 second. I just want to try to add some pieces of value to the table here. So annoying. Copy. Paste. That there. All right. So these small areas. So we have, again, I can go through this on a greater note if you really want to. So what's this one here? 2:30 p.m. So that's obviously US startup. And we have a pullback here at 8:30. That's going to be London startup right there. And then here we have some duck and covers. I'm not gonna add them. I'm gonna imply something over here though. 5:30 p.m. 7 a.m. There's London again. So Yeah, so if you start to push into this area, 2 560s, and then start to roll, guys, we got multiple targets, target one, target two, and then potentially target three at the bottom end there. I'll save that for now. See what happens. So gold is my favorite at the minute. EJ is just a big mess. I'm not gonna go into too much of it EJ. We'll do that on the webinar tomorrow and Bitcoin as well. I just wanted to give you guys a quick heads up, GU and gold, and see how we can perform going from there. So yeah, give me some feedback, guys, and then I'll update you about tomorrow. Okay, thank you.